YouTube? My name's AJ Karva, and I want to talk about layoffs, how the truth may hurt, but the reality is these companies don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about your future. If you're laid off, don't take it personally. 90% of the time, it's not performance-based, and you can get through it, and you will get through it. I have been laid off twice in my career. Not many know, but I have been laid off twice. And I have seen colleagues, friends go through the layoff process, some of which include this year of 2023 and throughout 2022 and 2021 and 2020. I mentioned it already. These companies don't care. That's the truth. My closest mentor, whose opinion I highly value, tells me to this day, fact of the matter is these companies don't care. Many of these companies overhired, not just in tech, but across the board. And now they're making decisions as the economy starts tanking, as we are in this recession. They're making the decisions to cut folks. And as I mentioned, 90% of the time, it's not performance-based. It's just we need to trim our workforce. We have too many people working for us, and we need to cut costs and save money. For those who don't know me, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to finances. And one thing I don't like is when someone tells you something and they act in a different manner. And that's companies too. That's executives. I get tired of checking LinkedIn almost every single day in the past 2.5 quarters and seeing someone that I know personally get laid off, or someone within my network, right, my second circle of my network, getting laid off out of nowhere. Oh, we had to make a decision to cut costs. If you've been part of a layoff and you've always had a dream to work for yourself, to start your own business, this time, if you just got laid off, it's your time. It is your time. I'm going to have to move the mic away because I'm going to get real into this. If you recently were laid off and you've always had a vision or a passion for something and starting a business, it's your time. It's your time. These companies are laying folks off and taking what was on your plate and putting it on someone else's plate at the company, and not giving them any promotions, not giving them a pay bump, telling them that, oh, we have to cut costs. They're putting it on someone else's plate if you were laid off. Now, if you were laid off and you have a decent severance package, which most of these companies are giving, they're giving you 3 to 4 months of pay in a lump sum right away. You have your finances at least for the next 3 or 4 months You have three options. You can either find a new role and possibly get paid the same, possibly get paid more, possibly get paid less. You can find a new role that's in a higher position than you have now, maybe in a manager or leadership position, where you may have to go down the role or just move laterally within the industry. Your second option is to start a side hustle or a business that you believe you're passionate about. Maybe you have skills in and you have a niche. If you're in sales, you can do something about passion. If you're more technical, a programmer, a coder, data analyst, architect, something of that sort, you might be able to start your own business in that niche and use your experience for a previous company as a building block to that business. Because here's one thing I'm going to say. These companies are laying folks off, and guess what? They're expecting other people to pick up the work that those folks were doing. Meanwhile, there's companies that aren't laying people off and they're growing, right? Their executives made the right moves at the right time. Because at the end of the day, I say this at every alumni panel that I've spoken at. And I say this to all my friends and colleagues almost daily. If you don't, someone else will. And that's the truth. If you don't make a call, someone else will. If you aren't prospecting for new clients, someone else will. There's companies cutting their workforce, their sales team, in half. And they expect the same results of growth. Meanwhile, there's other companies hiring sales folks. So they're going to do the work that the company that's cutting people is not willing to do anymore because they're cutting costs. Here's the kicker. If we're in a recession, this is a fact. In every recession, the next generation of innovative companies are born. This is your chance. This is my chance. I have my own little ventures, but I have other things that I have to take care of. I have other things on my plate, but I've always been a side hustler. And to date, I'm not laid off. But for those of you who are laid off and you have a severance or you have financial backing to hold you through, go after it. Go after your goals. Make it happen. You may fail, you may succeed. Either way, you're gaining experience. If you choose to go back into the company workforce, you're an entrepreneur. You know what it takes to start a business. You know what it takes to turn a passion into an income stream. And that is always more valuable than, say, someone who hasn't taken those steps. It shows you're resilient. It shows you're willing to take the extra step. It shows you're not scared. You can do it. I know you can. So make it happen. A company telling you, hey, we got to let go of you, that's not your worth. Don't worry about it. Throw it out the door. These companies don't give a shit about you. It doesn't matter what level you are. You could be an IC, you could be middle management, and you could be top management. I've seen VPs get laid off the past year. I've seen individual contributors get laid off the past year. I've seen folks all the way from software engineers, principal engineers, to your sales folks, to your product folks, to your recruiters, to your marketers. Every fucking department. Every department is getting cut in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But that doesn't mean it's the end for you. It's nowhere close to being the end for you. This is the beginning. And you have those 3 paths. Go find a new role, in a higher role, manager role. You might have to do a lateral move. You may have to prove yourself. Or find a new role. And in the meantime, while you're doing that search, start a side hustle. Start a little business. Or if you have the financial backing and the severance, take the dive. Especially if you're young, take the dive now. If you're in your early 20s, take the dive. Pursue your passion, pursue your dream. Because the later you wait, the harder it gets. Because yes, you may not decide to have kids before you're 30. You may decide not to buy a home before you're 30. But you can't control other factors and unfortunate events from happening that may put other responsibility onto your plate. And by then, it's going to be so much harder to take that dive and start a business. If you're in college and you're watching this, start your business now. It doesn't have to be full time. You could put in it part time. You could put in 5 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a week. And guess what? By the time you graduate, you're going to have experience that you can list on your resume and either A, get a job, or B, find a co-founder, or C, start your own company, and you already have experience. And if you started your company in college, as I just mentioned, maybe by the time you graduate, you'll be hiring people that you're graduating with. You never know. But you can do it. You can do it. Telling you this from personal experience. You can be successful. You will fail before you become successful. You will fail after you become successful. It's a never-ending roller coaster. But if you can soften the blows and stay humble on the highs, it won't affect you as bad as it affects some people. And I say that with confidence. Not selling you anything. I could say, hit this link up for a coaching session, which you can. But people are losing their jobs. Twitter, Amazon, Salesforce, Twine, 40 people, 8,000 people, 8,000 people. Wire, undisclosed amount. Oh, 100%, never mind. So companies going out of business or being acquired, being cut. Did I see ByteDance in here? Thought I saw ByteDance. Just in 2023, all those companies I mentioned have cut people. A lot of people. Goldman Sachs, 3,200. Bounce, Carbon Health, different industries. It's not just tech. Get to it. You have a lot to show for. If you were laid off, it's time to pursue your dreams. And that could be for a better role at another company, or it could be for your own. It's AJ Karva. Till next time, we out.